Yo, how we doing? Today I'm playing some Hearts of Iron 4 on 1.11.4. I don't really know the specifics of what's different about it, but it's just all the same game, right? For those who saw it, the previous video I made was about Latvian cheese being taken from the Swedes, so it only made sense to me that the next achievement we do is also about food. It's the Soviet onion. I don't know why Paradox was so hungry when they made this DLC. But alas, as we begin, we must head over to the Soviet Union and see this new focus tree for ourselves. So, in order to get the Soviet Union, it says here that we need to be the Soviet Union, okay, we've done that, and only have puppets as neighbours. It's not too specific about how it defines having puppets as neighbours, but if I am to take a good guess, can we not just cheese this by basically releasing everybody that exists within us, and the achievement's basically done? At that point, as far as I can see with my eye, there's only 4 countries there'll be that we don't border with a puppet that we can release. Sadly, Murmansk can't be released, which means we're going to border Finland. And Pskov. Unfortunately, this state can't be released either, and it borders Estonia and Latvia, so we're going to have to get rid of them. And finally, Tanotuva, because unfortunately we own Krasnoyarsk. Goodness, my pronunciation is terrible. But alas, those are the 4 countries. Finland, Estonia, Latvia, and Tanotuva. The only wars we need to do are with them. So, without waiting a minute to spare, let's start down the path. In order to release all these nations, it's going to be quite the trek down to the autonomous Soviet republics, which allows us to enable releasing countries. It also automatically releases Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan and Belarus. I'm not sure why specifically those countries, but that's what we get on the side. As a result, the only path for us is Trotsky. And so it begins. Civil war. Okay, and away we go. So immediately I'm going to start setting up my army on the Finnish border, because with any hope we might be able to sneak in a cheeky Finnish invasion just before the war begins. Goodness, I really do like the icon they've put here for the path of Marxism-Leninism. I don't know, this is some of their best focus art I think they've done. It just screams the Soviet Union, doesn't it? So with 50 political power and not a day to waste, let's begin our conquering of Finland. Shouldn't take too long, he says. Copium. Turkey wants control of the Bosporus over my dead body. We've got some bad news bears with Stalin, as I think he's starting to get a little bit paranoid. But we've got the left opposition coming in, which means we have decisions to keep him less paranoid and stop the insatiable voices inside his head. So, after you've completed the left opposition, typically to engage the civil war you have to pick a capital. Now you've got 5 places to choose from. Archangel, down here in the Ukraine, which is rather expensive, over in the Ural Mountains, down in Central Asia, and where I like to go, which is Omsk. It's just nice out here. There's nobody to bother you, nobody's gonna call you cringe. It's just nice. In addition, we also need to decide which focuses we're going to do, and making sure we get these 2 up and running very quickly is kind of important, because if we don't, we might never get the chance to do them again. With our excess political power, we also need to start grabbing up states that we want to have when the civil war begins. I'm not too picky. My biggest concern is I want to split the Soviet Union in half, because nobody's going to really be in the east. So having a strong western front is all that really, affects me. And let's get the bloc up and running. Unfortunately, we've got the disloyalty in the NKVD thing rather early, so I'm afraid we're going to have to up our weekly paranoia gain to 3% instead of 2. Oh, yay. This might be a faster civil war than I was hoping for. With all of these states now connected, what I like to do, which is, I'm not sure if it's roleplay or me just being an idiot, is I like to build a railway that heads all the way up north, connecting to this port here, so that there is some supply line that can travel down here, and then if you want, you can build supply hubs along this line, so that when you push west over the Urals, your units have supply, and the Soviets do not. Infiltrating the NKVD actually decreases paranoia, so I'm going to pick it up purely because it gives free units and free paranoia reduction. I think I just got an event which gave me the exact same guy again. Alright, fair enough. I'll take it. In the meantime, my snake is moving across into Archangel and then south towards Moscow. It's costing me a lot of paranoia, but this snake is literally just outside Moscow. And 30 days to a war with Finland. There's a lot going on. Right, I've pretty much got all the states I want, to be honest. I'm just 2 states away from Moscow, and that's all I really wanted. Leningrad's pretty close as well. I could make a push down here to get Stalingrad, but I'll get there eventually. Justification complete. Alright, let's hope this is a very quick war. Where's the bloody Air Force? I'm seeing a good amount of green in the south. That's what we like to see. And we landed. I mean, I wasn't expecting to lose this war. I am kind of a major, so it would be a little embarrassing if I struggled, wouldn't it? Also, no, we need all of Finland. Right, let's take everything and make sure that later on we release it as a puppet, so we don't have to deal with it. Goodness me, political paranoia was getting pretty close to 90 there, but thankfully, way back down to 30. Let's go down to 14. Okay, I might just take a few states over here, but only because they're cheap. One general done, Primakov to go. The military is starting to get on side, and frankly, the military is all I care about. Okay, so the last focus I'm going to pick up before the Civil War is just military support. I literally just went in, only focusing on the army. Uh-oh, the second Moscow trial, who's gone this time? Well, Bukharin's gone. Litvinov as well. Jeez Louise. In other news, we also need to ignite the flames. We're going to start the Civil War on our terms, not on theirs. Currently we're at 69 army support. Nice, and that is all I need. I'm just going to keep this event on my screen until the focus is done. Good, we get the first shot off. And why not get Trotsky to send us into victory? I kind of see a man, like here's his legs, and he's like in a throwing position. Maybe he's got like a ball. He's going to like, whew, throw the ball. But anyway, we've got a pretty decent starting size for our army. We've got all these units here ready to take Leningrad and Moscow. We've got units down here ready to move over to Stalingrad, and some units at the capital. Perfecto. While this is going on, I'm also going to prepare for getting Estonia and Latvia, because they're still on our border, or at least on the border of our border. Oh, and everyone's coming in. I do expect this to be pretty much a steamroll. Oh Jesus, we just zoomed through Moscow. I didn't even notice. This peasant is just zooming down this railway line. Go straight for Kiev. The war's only just begun and we're at 26%. That's pretty good. I'm not going to complain. Just snaking across the Soviet Union. Not too much left to do now. If you do want to try hard it though, the best thing I've noticed is to try and follow the railway lines wherever you can. It completely blocks off Soviet supply and stops them from like redeploying where they need to anywhere near as quickly. As you can see, just following the railways to where we need to go. I'm editing this video and I just see there's no actual conflict in the Soviet Civil War worth showing. So let's just timeline this and go straight to winning the Civil War. Oh my. Well, I didn't really do too much to finish that at the end. Unfortunately, there was no great spectacle. I didn't even reach Stalingrad. Yeah, I have to say that in my experience, the fastest way is just to make sure you get these free. Military support, do the military support decision, and infiltrate the NKVD. Everything else is just not massively required if all you care about is winning the Civil War. But enough about that. I think we have a focus to work towards. Long live the Workers' Republic government. The war against Stalin is over, the dictator has been overthrown, and Lev Trotsky has led us to victory. But they're going to ask me, where do we stick the old capital? We can choose Moscow. We can choose Leningrad. We can choose Leningrad, but we call it Petrograd. Or we can do the only thing that is actually sensible and stay in Omsk. Omsk. Jesus, look at these railways. What the? I knew Omsk was going to be like an industrially developed place, but this is on another level. It's one of those weird things that I feel like the events should be changed. You should rename Stalingrad to Trotskyigrad and then choose to put the capital there. Because I am Trotsky. I don't know. Just a weird thought. So, with the 3 countries we need to get left, 2 of them are in the Baltics. And this focus right here gives us ultimatums to annex them, which then means we can release them as puppets, assuming they don't say no. So hopefully, with this very small war goal, we are at 100% world tension, so here's praying they don't join a faction. But hopefully, they'll get the event to be annexed by me, and they'll just accept. Tanatuva, welcome back to the faction. I knew that sticking an agent in there, some diplomatic pressure, will bring them back into the fold. Alright, send the ultimatum to Estonia. I'm justifying on them. I've befriended them. Come on, there's no reason for you to say no. Estonia submits. 1 down, 1 to go. Latvia submits. Right, war measures in the east is the last one we need, because the focus here is annex Tanatuva. All the trains leaving Omsk, industrial powerhouse of the world. Got it. Right, Tanatuva said yes, and I'm pretty sure that is everything. And now I'm going to very quickly take 4 focuses, and I think that could be the achievement complete. This counts as 1. All power to the Soviets moves us to 2. Regional development coming in at 3. And goodness, that is 16 building slots. And finally, we find out whether it was all for nothing. Autonomous Soviet Republics at 4. Now, will we get the achievement? To do this, all we have to do is start releasing everything as puppets. Because effectively, we need the entirety of the Soviet Union to be surrounded by puppets, and to my mind, the best way to do that is just release everything. So we've covered the Far East Republic and moving down here. We need to get rid of Buryatia and Tanatuva. Alright, let's get rid of Central Asia, Kazakhstan and all. Alright, that's all released. The Caucasus have basically been dealt with on their own. I'm not sure I have to deal with, this place. Nor am I sure about Crimea. But this all looks good. This looks good. Finland looks good. As far as I can tell, I release Ukraine, hit play, and I think we're done. Release as puppet. And then hit play. Oh, and there it is. The Soviet Onion. Wunderbar. Yeah, that's all I did to do it. You could totally release more nations if you were so inclined. But that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do. And with that, I call that a success. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope this was somewhat informative. I hope you see how to do it. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked, feel free to like. Feel free to subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. Bye 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 bye.